Hey, Gordon. Can you speak to the thought process of deciding to go down to Orlando as a guy with already a family, young children, pregnant wife, all of these concerns? Can you
Yeah.
just speak to the mentality of what went into deciding to go and all of that?
Yeah. I mean, I think for a lot of people in the NBA, a difficult decision as far as leaving family, especially if you have little kids. And, um, this is a unique experience that's about to happen because although we are on the road a lot, as you know, during the year, you do get time to come home. Maybe maximum 8, 9, 10 days on the road before you're home, and so being gone for a lot longer certainly is going to be tough. It's going to be hard. There's no doubt about it. I think leaving the girlies is going to be really hard, and for sure a sad day for me. I think they're old enough to the point now where they do understand what's going on, and we've tried to explain to them that I'm going to be gone for a little while, and it's something where it kind of is what it is. I think the opportunity to compete for a championship, play for a title, is something that I think a lot of us NBA players we want to do. We want to go down there and continue the season and trying to finish something that we worked for all year. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot to think about. Certainly, also my wife being pregnant. There'll be a time if and when we're down there and she's going to have the baby. I'm for sure going to go be with her. So that we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. But I think it's something where competing for a title is I guess the number one thing here.
Is she due in September?
Yes. Yes.
So there's a possibility that if you go long enough, that you might have to leave the team during a playoff run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a pretty easy decision for me on that. I've been at the birth of every one of my children, and think there are more important things in life. So, like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I know the NBA has a protocol in place for that type of thing, and hopefully, it's I can do the quarantining and testing the appropriate amount of time, and then be back with the boys.
Sharon?
Hey, Gordon, how's it going?
So,
Uh, this Saturday, actually tomorrow, will be the 3-year anniversary since you came to Boston. And just obviously with the quarantine time, there's been a lot of time to reflect and think about the future as well as what you've done. Just could you just encapsulate just what your time in Boston has been for you and just what that's meant to you, to your family, to your career, things along those lines?
yeah, I can't believe it's been 3 years already. To be honest, a lot has happened for me, for my family, for me. Obviously, the injury is a big thing, and then working my way back. Playing at the Boston Garden, there's absolutely nothing like that. So I cherish every moment I get to play there, especially after going through the injury. Haven't thought about the future. Honestly, was thinking every day hopefully we're going to find out some information on what's going to happen with the season more than anything, and then trying to stay fit, stay ready. But certainly it's been an unbelievable 3 years here. Like I said, had a child here. I'll never forget that. And it's been some great moments for sure. Obviously, not some great moments with the injury and everything, but some great moments. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
And just to follow up to that real quick, Gordon, if you had to pinpoint one area of growth that's been most significant for you since you came to Boston, what would that area be?
Without a doubt, the mental side of sports and of basketball. I think for sure hit a low during my injury, and have had to work more than ever on that mental side, more than I ever had in my basketball career on that mental side, and that for sure is something that takes work. And um, it's I think it's a topic that is starting to come up more and more these days, but certainly one that's real. And I think it's difficult when you're in certain situations. So I think for sure the mental side is where I've grown.
Thanks, Gordon.
Nicole Yang?
Hi, Gordon. Just going back to John's question, I'm curious what Robin thinks about everything and sort of what those conversations have been like.
I think that she's sad. I mean, for sure. My wife has been unbelievable through this whole thing. I mean, seriously, she is taking care of the girls, taking care of me, because I've been home more, and that's something she does really well. And at the same, all while being pregnant, helping me get ready for this upcoming deal that we're going to go through. At the same time, trying to, get the girls ready to go back to Indianapolis for the baby, and she's just been amazing. So of course she's definitely sad. She's for sure she's been stressing a little bit about this, and I can't blame her for that. I think it's definitely a stressful time for us, but I think she'll be happy if I go down there and play well and the Celtics play well. I know she will be, and I think we're all blessed now as we're on this Zoom call here with the technology we have these days to be able to communicate with video calls, and I can still talk to her every day. So it won't be the same as me being there doing story time and bath time and bedtime and all that good stuff, but maybe I can do some of that remotely.
So is the plan once you leave for her to go to Indianapolis to be with family, or will you have family come out to Boston?
No, our plan is for her to be in Indianapolis and be with family. It's just where our family's at, and it'll make things easier on her.
Thank you.
Mark D'Amico?
Hey, Gordon.
Hey.
I'm curious, this playoff run is going to be different than any playoff run that's really happened in the history of the NBA. What do you think that teams are going to need to showcase, or what do you think are going to be, important aspects of teams that are going to come into play more during this playoff scenario than maybe any other year in terms of like depth or, experience in the playoff, those types of things?
Right. I mean, it's hard for me to speculate because I haven't been involved in something like this either. So I think we're all going to learn, I guess, maybe what's the most important thing heading into a shortened season, or what's the quickest, what do you need the most? I mean, certainly I think defensively there's going to be a huge emphasis on defense because without a doubt, I think, the offense might be a little bit further behind, just as far as, we haven't played together. We haven't been with each other. And that usually takes time that takes a season to kind of get your groove going into where, by the end of the year, exactly, the plays that work really well, you kind of where you're going to get your shots. You have this great rhythm that you get into, this zone that you get into. And, I'm confident we'll get into that. But certainly that takes a little bit longer than the defensive side where, I think our versatility should help us a lot. I think our depth should help us a lot, especially on that end. And so if our offense is maybe not as crisp at first, we'll give ourselves a chance by being really tough defensively. So I think for sure that'll be an emphasis for us. I'm sure it will be an emphasis for other teams as well.
All right, and then final question for Gordon. We'll go to Brian Robb.
Hey, Gordon. Just curious to see where you are at physically after this layoff. I know you were dealing with a sore foot for various parts last year. Is that something that's kind of the rest has been able to get rid of that, or is that still an issue for you?
My foot is still gets sore. I think that I wish that I had an answer as to why it still is a little sore. I think a lot of it relates to just the injury that I had, and I've been training pretty much this whole time, not full go, obviously because I haven't had a court the whole time, but I've been trying to stay fit. So I've been resting, but at the same time not resting, kind of like maintenance type thing. And so, I mean, I think everything is definitely a lot better. There's no doubt about that. So for sure, I'm feeling great. It's just foot still is a little sore, but I think it is what it is, you know. So